SVG-TV News headlines sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
In headlines, SVG Medical Association further appeals to both women and men to have their breast examination done, as it has been revealed that 2 Vincentian men have recently been diagnosed with breast cancer. TNT Finance Minister says revised 2019 fiscal accounts show the country's economy is moving in the direction of fiscal stability. A leaked new drone video sparks new concerns that China is harshly targeting ethnic Muslims. And in sports, Kings' record-breaking century powers Warriors into 2019 CPL final. These and other stories coming up in SVG-TV's Evening News and Sports.
That was the news headline sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV News and Sports for Tuesday, October 8, 2019. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. In the Constitution, Vincentians have affirmed to the concept that SVG is founded on the belief in the supremacy of God and the freedom and dignity of man. So says Queen's Counsel Panel Campbell, who on his Law and You program last evening on SVG-TV put into context the challenge to the country's buggery and indecency laws and that of the Word of God. The country's current buggery and gross indecency laws criminalize the act of homosexuality, and Campbell said the case is hinged mainly on the concepts of man against the concept of the Word of God, and that the courts will have to choose an interpretation of the supremacy of God, whether the Word of God is more powerful than what man wants it to mean. He said while the claimants in the case and their legal team have put forward the arguments that the buggery laws, which date back to colonial past, are against the basic tenets of the Constitution that protect the rights and freedom of every citizen, they should also consider the words of God outlined in the Bible.
The question is, where it is alleged that the freedom of man is being circumscribed by certain laws, the question will arise very squarely to be answered as to which is more important, the supremacy of God or the freedom of man. In other words, must man bend his laws to suit the supremacy of God, or must the supremacy of God give way to the alleged freedom of man? And to me, that is the fundamental principle which the cases will have to address and the judges will have to address. And the judges will have to tell us if the supremacy of God means anything at all in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The judges will have to tell us if the Word of God carries any meaning, and if so, whether that meaning is compatible with the challenge brought against the laws pertaining to buggery.
The Queen's Counsel said it is expected that the law of the Bible, which is the word of God, should be placed on a higher level than the laws of men.
Because if God is supreme, and if his word is supreme, then his laws must be supreme as well. They must take precedence over the laws made by man. But interestingly enough, you will find those words in the constitutions of many other nations, and in particular the constitutions of nations in the Caribbean. Those words are found in the Constitution of Belize. Those words are found in the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago and other Caribbean countries. Belief in the supremacy of God. God is supreme. So the Constitution says. But really and truly, does the Constitution mean what it says? And that is the question.
The first court hearing in relation to the legal challenge of the country's buggery laws took place on Wednesday, September 20th, which was a case management matter. The next hearing is slated for November 13th, at which time the court will decide how many days should be set aside for the trial. In other news, the SVG Medical Association is observing Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and another appeal is being made for both women and men to have breast examination done. Prostate cancer is also being highlighted during this month, and the association says it is equally important for men to have their prostate examined. Larissa Poggs-the-Kid tells us more in this report.
Our mammograms have reportedly increased in recent times as the SVG Medical Association continues to raise awareness on breast cancer. While breast cancer is mainly associated with women, men can also have breast cancer, and according to President of the SVG Medical Association, Dr. Rosalind Ambrose, 2 Vincentian men were recently diagnosed with breast disease. Dr. Ambrose again called on persons to heed early warning signs of breast cancer, as she said it is curable once detected early.
We need to heighten our attention to factors that may present as the onset of breast cancer, because it is a serious disease, has lots of consequences, but it is curable if it is caught early enough, so that women who are affected by the disease are not left with the thought that it's the end game, because it isn't. It is possible to have surgery, have radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and many, many other intervening treatment methods are available.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of death in women in SVG, and the SVG Medical Association continues to assist women diagnosed with the disease with their medical expenses. Financial assistance is secured through various fundraising activities.
As we do support women in covering costs of women who are affected and diagnosed with breast cancer, we may assist them with airfare to go to, if they need to go to Trinidad or Guyana for radiotherapy, because that's not available in St. Vincent. The chemotherapy agents, some of which are available here, but it is pricey. It's very expensive, and so we may assist them with finances for that. We also will give assistance to women for the laboratory tests, because they need to have follow-ups on a really regular basis. But each year, you know, there are more people being diagnosed, and so someone else comes and fills that gap.
Over the weekend, the association held its annual 5K run, which was well supported. This Friday, October 11, the popular Pink Cap City Walk and Rally will be held, and persons are encouraged to come out in their numbers to support the event. It will be held at Heritage Square and starts at 3:30 p.m. Dr. Ambrose said it is important for women who are 40 years and over to have a mammogram done, noting that they do not necessarily need to see a doctor to have a referral.
If you recognize anything that is not the usual finding when you touch the breast, Some women need to be encouraged to touch the breast because people just don't do self-examination of their own bodies regularly enough. And so we like to encourage women to do that. And certainly if you discover something that hadn't been there before, we need to get you to come to medical attention.
During the month, the SVG Medical Association is also raising awareness on prostate cancer, which is the leading cause of death among men in SVG. Dr. Ambrose is appealing to men across SVG to have a prostate examination done before it is too late.
We presently have 2 males with prostate cancer. We are assisted in a similar way that we assist women with breast cancer to be with prostate cancer. So we try to encourage men to get their examination done, their clinical examination, have the PSA, get an ultrasound or what the physician recommends for them, and so we can catch them early. Because the earlier we make the diagnosis, the better the prognosis, the outcome is for these patients.
Reporting for SVG-TV News, Larissa Pogsley, Kid.
A number of local stakeholders were engaged today in discussions which will continue tomorrow on SVG Tsunami Warning Protocol, which outlined their roles and responsibilities in the event of a tsunami. The two-day national consultation is being facilitated by the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, SVG, and the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO. SVG is one of 4 countries identified by SVG and the Caribbean Tsunami Information Center to improve on its early response to tsunami warnings. SVG representative Rhea Headley said that participation is necessary to have a holistic response to tsunami in SVG and across the region.
SVG's objectives at this national workshop in St. Vincent are as follows. We want to support the adaptation of the model national tsunami SOPs to St. Vincent and the Grenadines context, and to support the documentation of recommendations and best practices that would be drawn from this workshop.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, Air and Seaport Development, Yvette Pompey, says due to SVG's topography, the effects of a tsunami hazard could be catastrophic, hence the need to be prepared for any eventuality.
I would like to highlight the possible effects of the impact of a tsunami affecting our island. Injuries, loss of lives, loss of livelihood, damage or destruction to buildings, damage or destruction to our infrastructure, disruption to lives, whether it be transportation, communication, all those areas of the sector, impact on the economy. Hence, I encourage you, active participation, you must, as we seek to build our capacity to prepare and respond to possible impacts of tsunamis. This consultation is evident that we will not wait until we are impacted and find ourselves wanting.
NEMO's director, Michelle Forbes, is one of the facilitators, along with consultant Caitlin Mead. Over the next 2 days, Mead said gaps will be identified in SVG's response to hazards, particularly as it relates to tsunami and the preparedness by all stakeholders.
The identified gaps, of course, is this whole idea of how do we deal with the occurrence of a tsunami? Does everyone know what they should do? Okay, and do agencies collaborate, or do they know how to collaborate? Will they have time to do that? And how do we ensure that that happens right before it leads to a national catastrophe? And so we don't want to wait until that time comes, only to find out that we are not ready and that we have made no effort towards being ready. Okay, and so that is really what this project is all about.
The discussions will continue tomorrow, where the protocols that should be developed will be reviewed for adaptation. Vincentians living abroad will be able to celebrate SVG's 40th anniversary of independence through a series of activities which will be held in the diaspora. Foreign officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Janelle Frederick, said that thus far Vincentian groups in Canada, the UK and the USA have indicated that they will be hosting their activities on different dates throughout the month.
SVG Consulate in Canada, Toronto, and they will be having a flag raising ceremony that will take place on the 25th of October, followed by an Independence Anniversary Church service on the 27th of October. They will move into November and have the Independence Gala with the SVG Association of Toronto and the SVG support group. Ottawa, Calgary, Montreal, Winnipeg. They also will be hosting an Independence Gala, and at various times. The Ottawa takes place on the 26th of October. Calgary, the SVG Association of Calgary, takes place on the 26th of October for their Independence Gala. Montreal, their Independence Gala will be on the 2nd of November, and Winnipeg, their Independence Gala is hosted by the SVG Association of Winnipeg on the 9th of November. The SVG High Commission in London will be hosting a dinner and dance in conjunction with the SVG Women Association of London.
Frederick said persons in the diaspora who would like to be part of these celebration activities can contact their respective council groups or associations.
Scene with the shockwaves from supernova leading to the birth of new stars. Supernova will mark SVG 40th Independence Anniversary celebration, and nationals will be explosive on the road with distinguished costume sections. Moving now to the SVG Embassy and Permanent Mission in Washington, D.C. Most of their activities will be hosted by various groups, including the St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Association in Washington, D.C. They're having a church service as well as a dinner and dance, annual Caribbean cruise, which celebrates the 40th anniversary, and that will take place on December the 13th, 2019. The other activities which I mentioned before will take place from the 20th to around the 26th and 27th of October. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Pennsylvania, they will also be having a flag raising ceremony, church service, dinner and dance.
Director of Grenadines Affairs encourages parents on Beckway to let loose their children and let them fly into the world of entrepreneurship. This and other stories coming up when I return with more local news. Stay with us.
News sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Funeral service should be one that you can be proud of, one that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones. And that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. When you walk through our doors, our work begins. From corsages, to flowers, to guest books, whatever you need to make that funeral a memorable one. We are proud of the quality and class we have brought to the industry. We are proud for having trained the very first certified embalmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are proud of leading the way in terms of live streaming of funerals online so that your family members overseas could also be part of the celebration of life. We are constantly improving our services. We are driven by customer satisfaction, and we are proud of all that we do.
New Haven Funeral Home, helping families preserve memories. Star Limited is now located on the 3rd floor of the First St. Vincent Bank building. They have extended their range of products to furniture, including patio sets, closets, shoe casing, beds and mattresses, TV cabinets, and kitchen cupboards, just to name a few of their luxurious pieces, all at unbelievable prices. Don't just take my word for it. Check them out upstairs the First St. Vincent Bank building. And don't forget, they still have the best in windows, doors, burglar bars, rails, and vanities. Star Limited, where quality and style is our motto.
This Hurricane Tip is brought to you by CIBC First Caribbean. Take photos of important documents and secure them in waterproof containers or bags. Make sure to include any insurance policies, property deeds, or mortgage papers.
The countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back. Parents on the Grenadine island of Bequia have been told that the time has now come when they must let loose their children after investing in their education and let them fly into the world of entrepreneurship. The advice was given by Director of Grenadines Affairs, Herman Belma, as he addressed the opening of a one-week micro-business simulation seminar by the Center for Enterprise Development, Inc., CED, on Monday night at the Paget Farm Community Center. 25 residents on Bequia are taking part in the seminar geared at improving their business planning and management skills.
Parents can no longer hold on to their children, especially when they're well educated, and think that they're going to keep them at home here in Bequia. If we look at the public service, it is filled with very young people, starting from the permanent secretaries and working your way right down. All of the services, the police, the teachers, the nurses, you name it, which indicates that these young people are going to be holding on to the public service jobs for at least another 20 years before retirement. Are we going to keep our children tied down at home for another 20 years before they find employment? Absolutely not. We will have a revolt on hand. Therefore, I see you coming here this evening and see your faces as the faces of the future of Bequia. I see you as the future of the business sector of this community.
Speaking to the specific objective of the seminar, which is to experience how to manage a micro-business effectively using an experience-based approach, Belmar noted that he has seen where many people have started businesses and do not have the basic practical skills and knowledge to manage their businesses and have bad business principles, which often lead to failure.
And happens daily in Bequia, where is my business, is my petty cash, is my cash pan. I have a need, an urgent need. You don't pay yourself a salary because you say it's not fast enough, growing fast enough to pay yourself a salary. Nevertheless, you have a need and the money comes from nowhere else but out of that cash pan. And without proper accounting, without proper principles being put in place, that business slowly changes direction. And it often fails. CED is here to put you on the right footing through a practical game for the lack of a better term, we call it a game, where you're doing something in practical terms and managing what you need to do from the writing your proposal, getting your figures together, managing those figures, and seeing yourself become a profitable.
The seminar is being delivered by CED certified trainers Keisha Phillips and Nisha Glasgow. It is part of a project by the Savings Bank Foundation for International Cooperation that supports the strengthening of the financial sector and improve access to financial services across the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. In other news, students from the SVG Community College and other educational institutions here seize the opportunity today to learn more about the opportunities available to study abroad and about the unique areas of studies available worldwide. This through a university college fair hosted by the SVG Community College in partnership with the Study Abroad Student Services based in Trinidad at the SVG Community College Villa campus. Representatives from universities based in the US, UK, and Canada were on hand at the fair to provide information to the students on the respective programs and possible source of scholarships. The director of the SVG Community College, Nigel Scott, said today's fair forms part of the institution's commitment to provide opportunities for the students to grow and excel.
Always looking for opportunities for our students to expand and to grow, and so even after they leave us, they need to have opportunities for where they can further their studies, and that's really why we're here today, to present the students with these opportunities, that they will know what's out there, what's available, what sort of funding they might be able to get, what sort of scholarships they might be able to access, and what are some of the opportunities and areas of study they can pursue outside of the region, because we can't just limit our students to the region. The reality is many of our students, our graduates, will migrate and move out of the region. And so these opportunities for them, some of them can go study and return and continue to build St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So that's why we're here today, to provide this opportunity for our students.
Scott said each of the universities represented at the fair present unique ideas of study which should be of interest to the students of the SVG Community College.
Then each of the institutions has different specializations. So we have, for example, a school from Germany, the Berlin School of Business and Innovation. So all of our business students should be very interested in that. We have Heston College, which also does a bachelor's in nursing. In fact, very similar to our programs here at the SVGCC Heston College. So we are looking at how maybe we can partner, maybe do exchanges for some of our students with them. We also have Trine here, and they do engineering programs. They're very interested in our technical students in a number of different engineering areas. We also have Thompson Rivers University, and so they each have different specializations, and we're seeing opportunities for partnerships and for articulation with many of them. A lot of enthusiasm. We're seeing at the tables, all of the universities that are here are quite busy, talking to students, sharing information with students, and the students all seem quite excited. Both first and second year students here at the Villa campus. I'm looking forward to seeing some of our teacher ed students, some of our technical students even, visiting the tables this morning and during the course of the day so that they can find out. But it's quite an enthusiastic response so far.
The SVG Community College Director said such fairs are of importance to the students and that they will be partnering with more universities to highlight all of the options available to students.
I think definitely any opportunity that provides for Vincentians options, because we all need options when it comes to further study, when it comes to our personal growth and development. And this is something that we'll be pursuing with Study Abroad Student Services to do at least annually. And we would continually be looking for other opportunities to have other institutions visit. We have the UWI every year, and they'll be coming later this semester as well to do their road shows. But we also welcome other institutions to be partnering with us.
Representatives of the various universities participating in the fair took the opportunity to highlight some of the unique areas of study which they offer.
I'm from the University of Guelph. Guelph is a small city in Ontario. Ontario, Canada. We have hospitality and tourism management, which a lot of the islands are interested in. We have our food and agriculture, which focus on sustainability and development, also really good for the islands. And we do have science programs, which can prepare students to go on to med school. A lot of the students there have been interested in medicine as well as business.
The disaster management programs train students to be leaders, to be first responders in a disaster situation, whether that be a hurricane or an earthquake or flooding. They're trained to be first responders. There's certainly a medical component to that because always their first concern is for survivors. Then it's damage assessment. It includes reconstruction, which can be anything from 3 to 5 to 10 years. Not only reconstruction of homes and businesses, but infrastructure and economy.
Okay, our school is 100% specialized on international students. We are very comprehensive about your academic records and also about your experience. So a part of this course, there's a lot of extra things they're getting. They're getting a very nice and very wild network. They're getting a second language, what will be German. They also get certificates from London School of Business and Finance, which is a partner of us. So what I think it's the school, it's a very good door and a very good opportunity for those students that want to become global.
Yeah, I would say so far students are really interested in business. So we have to offer finance, accounting, global commerce, management, and human resources. We also have a few specialty programs at our campus as well. One is called Social Justice and Peace Studies. So that's for students that are really wanting to make a difference in their city or their country and come back and really make those important changes that are needed around social justice. We have a social work program for students interested in helping people, as well as a disability studies program. So there's been some interest around that as well today, which is awesome.
Students from the Beckway Seventh-day Adventist Secondary School also attended today's University and College Fair. The school's principal, Maury Hercules, said it is hoped that the fair will inspire the students to seek higher education.
Opportunity to provide for our students opportunities for advancement in education, because we understand the value of education in our world today. Therefore, I consider it a privilege to have them attend activities like this so that they can be exposed to universities and colleges, and so are better able to make wise decisions as it relates to their future educational goals and objectives. We're happy here. We're happy, and I'm glad that some of my students embraced the opportunity to be here. And we hope that it will serve as a motivation for them to choose higher education, because it's important in today's world.
That brings us to the end of the local segment of the news. The regional news is coming up next. Stay with us.
News segment.
The Everready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Everready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Everready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Everready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Juicy, juicy, drink today. Juicy, juicy, same great taste. Juicy, juicy, the original drink. It's a Vinci thing. Get your red and banana, pineapple, juicy cola, orange or apple. Juicy for you and for your neighbor. It's a Vinci thing. Enjoy it juicy, the original Vinci thing. Juicy.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
The regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Welcome back. In our news from the region now, we heard that Trinidad and Tobago's finance minister, called Imbert, says revised 2019 fiscal accounts show that the country's economy is moving in the right direction of fiscal stability. Minister Imbert presented a budget with an estimated revenue of 47.74 billion TT dollars and total expenditure of 53.036 billion TT dollars and a fiscal deficit of 5.287 billion TT dollars. The 2020 budget theme was stability, strength, and growth. We hear more in this TTT news report.
It was called a pre-election presentation by some, and in his delivery, Minister of Finance Com Imbert made several announcements that would indeed be welcomed by members of the public. Among them, an increase in the minimum wage from $15 to $17.50 per hour from December 1st, 2019. On-the-job training stipends will be increased by 10%, and government will increase intake for the program to 8,000 trainees from December 1st, 2019. There will also be an increase in wages for CPAP workers by 15% and an increase in fees paid to CPAP workers by 15% also by December 1st. URP wages will also be increased by 15%. Minister Imbert said the revised estimates for 2019 indicate that total expenditure for the year is now estimated at $50.5 billion, a decrease of $1.27 billion from the originally budgeted expenditure of $51.77 billion for 2019. There will be provisions within the budget to assist single working mothers. Daycare centers for children under 3 years old throughout the country will be established. Minister Imbert said the recently concluded tax amnesty was a success. $2.382 billion was collected during the 3-month tax amnesty. There will also be a removal of all taxes and duties on LED bulbs for 5 years. The government will also be replacing all incandescent bulbs to more energy-efficient ones to households free of charge across Trinidad and Tobago. When it came to the allocations, expenditure for education and training were the highest allocations at $7.548 billion for education and $6.440 billion for national security. The health sector received $6.084 billion. Public utilities received $3.047 billion. Works and transport, $2.956 billion. Local government, $2.469 billion. Housing, $1.007 billion. And agriculture, $0.708 billion. Other highlights of the budget include the ban of styrofoam in the food industry and to terminate the use of plastic water bottles in government offices from January 1st, 2020. Daily paid workers in public service will be eligible for minimum public service pension of $3,500 a month. This will be a contributory pension plan and it will take effect in 2020.
Although a date has already been set for elections in Guyana, the country's Attorney General, Basil Williams, said members of the opposition People's Progressive Party need to return to Parliament to ensure the two-thirds majority is granted for the extension of the government's life. The opposition leader, Barrett Jagdeo, has repeatedly said his party will not be returning to grant any extension of the life of the government, but the Attorney General believes the opposition leader's position could lead to a crisis in the country. We hear more in this news source report.
Of the opposition has been saying that he's not interested, etc. But of course, he's free to say whatever he likes in George Street or on the streets of Georgetown or on the streets of Guyana. So the test is when Parliament is resumed and the matter is called, he must go there and say he's not conforming with it, comply with the Constitution. Once he does that, obviously it would create a situation of I would say, a crisis situation, which would impel the doctrine of necessity, and of course, all these things were put before the CCJ.
At the weekly press conference of the People's National Congress today, Mr. Williams said, due to the effect of the passing of the no-confidence motion back in December, the government under Article 106(7) of the Constitution is required to return to Parliament to seek the extension, since the 3-month deadline has already passed. Mr. Williams said the Caribbean Court of Justice made it clear in its ruling that it is the Guyana Elections Commission that is solely responsible for the conduct of elections in the country. He said the GCOM now signaling its readiness by the end of February 2020 and the President naming a 2nd of March 2020 date, the government is required by the Constitution to return to Parliament for the extension.
We have to go back to Parliament in compliance with Article 106(7) of the Constitution. You would recall that it requires, in the case of a no-confidence motion being successful, it had said that the government should hold elections in 3 months. Of course, I said from day one, it's ridiculous that you're asking the government to go to Kingston and ask the chairman and commissioners, including Commissioner Ben, to step out and take their leave. They could stay on the road. We are here to take over because 106(7) we must hold elections. At least in the CCJ, they confirmed that it's GCOM that has to hold elections in 3 months and not the government.
The opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo believes the government is trying to blackmail the opposition into returning to Parliament, but he will not fall for it. The opposition has not attended a parliamentary sitting since last.
Well, that's our news from the region. A leaked new drone video sparks new concerns that China is harshly targeting ethnic Muslims. This from the international scene. When we return, stay with us.
That was a regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Just for life is back again. Your favorite game. Win house and land. SUV plus 50 grand. 50 and 25 grand. Second and third prize in your hand. Yeah. So play as much as you can. Monthly prices to be won. Set for life. A brand new house. Set for life. A brand new car. Set for life. $10 for a bet. Live your life with no regrets. Set for life. Did your day done set? Set for life. December 28th. Set for life. Check the lotto machine. Get set for 2019. Set for life. Live all of your dreams. Be a winner, turn your own keys. Set for life.
has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
SVG-TV International News segment sponsored in part by Couriers Distribution Limited.
You like doing laundry, right? Nah, I didn't think so. The stains? Oh, nightmare. Thanks to the new Tropic Fresh laundry detergent, doing laundry is now hassle-free. Tropic Fresh removes dirt, cuts through stains, leaves your whites whiter, and your colors brighter. Tropic Fresh has antibacterial agents that kills germs present in your clothing. It's gentle on hands, and the smell? Longer, fresh fragrance. Available in original and lemon scents and in various sizes. Tropic Fresh laundry detergent. Agents and distributors, Couriers Distribution Limited.
Let's go further afield now. A leaked drone video is sparking new concerns that China is harshly targeting ethnic Muslims. This disturbing footage appears to show hundreds of detainees in Western China bound and blindfolded. CNN's Matt Rivers spoke to two former detainees who described the abuses they say they face in similar camps. Here is more in this report.
Row by row, there are hundreds of them, seated on the ground, heads shaved, blindfolded. Their hands are bound behind their backs as dozens of guards hover in SWAT uniforms. It's unclear who these prisoners are, but Western intelligence sources tell CNN they believe the video is authentic, that it shows Muslim ethnic minorities, and that the video was shot in Xinjiang, China. Xinjiang is the western Chinese region where the government has detained hundreds of thousands of Muslims over the past several years, according to the United States. Detainees are almost exclusively ethnic minorities, including Uyghurs, who have lived in the region for generations, now housed in massive camps like this one that we saw firsthand on a trip to Xinjiang in March. We were followed by police every moment of our 6-day journey. Multiple ex-detainees and a former camp employee have told CNN that torture and political indoctrination are rampant inside the camps. Critics say Beijing has rounded up minorities arbitrarily and en masse in a blatant attempt to destroy their cultures and wipe out Islam within its borders. Beijing has repeatedly denied that, saying the camps are merely, quote, vocational training centers designed to counter Islamic extremism in Xinjiang, which has seen terrorist attacks in the past. A Western intelligence source tells CNN their analysis of the video, posted online anonymously last month, shows detainees transferred by train. Analysis by the Australian Strategic Policy Institute suggests the video was shot in the city of Korla in August 2018. In response, the Xinjiang government said in a statement to CNN, quote, cracking down on crimes in accordance with law is the common practice of all countries. Xinjiang's crackdown on crimes has never been linked to ethnicities or religions. Transporting inmates by judicial authorities belongs to normal judicial activities. But two men, one in the Netherlands and one in Kazakhstan, say the activity is anything but normal and that the video is terrifyingly familiar because they lived through something similar. Amanjan Said, a Muslim ethnic Kazakh, says he was detained in China in 2018, never told what for. Held in his first camp for several weeks, he says he was transferred to another, exactly as shown in the video. We were made to sit just like that, he says. They put cuffs on our hands and legs and masks over our heads. Lots of police were there with guns. He was released after several months and now lives in Kazakhstan, a country on China's western border. While detained, he says the fear of what might happen was the worst. I feel so sad, he says. That used to be me. I cannot forget that. It's criminal. Beijing did not respond to questions about the allegations from both men. CNN cannot independently verify the authenticity of this video or the date it was shot. Prisoners in China are regularly transported wearing blindfolds, and it's unclear whether the men are being held for criminal offenses or for other reasons. But this drone video does not exist in a vacuum. Rather, it is a singular piece of a swiftly mounting body of evidence, including first-hand accounts that shows China is persecuting people in Xinjiang simply because they are Muslim, committing human rights abuses in the process. Matt Rivers, CNN.
Well, that's the news. Sports is just ahead, but before that, let's take a look at the local weather forecast.
SVG-TV International News segment was sponsored in part by Caress Distribution Limited.
You like doing laundry, right? Nah, I didn't think so. The stains? Oh, nightmare. Thanks to the new Tropic Fresh laundry detergent, doing laundry is now hassle-free. Tropic Fresh removes dirt, cuts through stains, leaves your whites whiter, and your colors brighter. Tropic Fresh has antibacterial agents that kills germs present in your clothing. It's gentle on hands, and the smell? Longer, fresh fragrance. Available in original and lemon scents and in various sizes. Tropic Fresh laundry detergent. Agents and distributors, Caress Distribution Limited.
The weather report sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They come General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnisville. Call 453-9000.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
The local weather forecast, it is partly cloudy with light showers, winds east-northeast at 7 kilometers per hour, temperatures 27.3 degrees Celsius, relative humidity is 81%. The barometric pressure is 1011.3 millibars, 24-hour rainfall 8.3 millimeters. Today's maximum temperature is 30.2 degrees Celsius. Today's minimum temperature is 23.8 degrees Celsius. Sunset today at 5:49 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow at 5:54 a.m. The forecast, it is partly cloudy, slightly hazy and breezy at times with a few scattered showers. The synopsis, the Atlantic high pressure system is building across the islands.
The weather report was sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
Still going to town for hardware? No, you don't need to. Pinchers Hardware in Pembroke. It's your one-stop shop for all your hardware needs. We stock building materials, blocks, sand, and stones. Also plumbing and electrical fittings. We have automotive supplies too. And to make things easy, we will deliver to your location. Come on in or simply call us at 458-7591 or 533-1576. We are open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pinchers Hardware, located in Pembroke, where quality meets price.
Welcome to the evening sports. We hear that on a Providence surface where Trinidad Knight Riders just about managed to find enough ammunition to get past a 126 target against St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. Brandon King alone smashed and unbeaten 132, the highest individual score in CPL history, as Guyana Amazon Warriors beat Barbados Tridents to have a 5th spot at the elusive CPL title. Amazon Warriors also extended their unbeaten streak to 11 matches in the process. Earlier defending champions Trinidad Knight Riders launched CPL 2019 with 4 wins in a row, but they suddenly cooled off, going winless in their last 6 games in the lead up to the playoffs. Their slumps coincide with the recurrence of a finger injury for Sunil Narayan, but in the eliminator against St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots at Providence Stadium, Narayan injured finger and all mark his comeback with 2 for 10 in his 4 overs to limit Patriots to 125 for 7 on a sluggish track on the overcast skies to set up the win. Patriots bowlers then briefly made their total look bigger than it was with clever pace variations, and despite Lyndon Simmons' stop-start half-century, his 5th this season, Knight Riders fell behind the asking rate on a pitch where stroke making was difficult. When Simmons holed out for 51 in the 16th over, Knight Riders still needed 48 of 27 balls. Enter captain Kieran Pollard. He had injured his quadriceps in the outfield in the first innings, but he shook that off to smash 26 of 9 balls to lead his side into the second qualifier. Barbados Tridents will meet Knight Riders in the second qualifier tonight. We wish them all the best. And former West Indies off spinner and coach Roger Harper is among 4 men chosen by Cricket West Indies to be on the senior selection panel for the regional team. Harper Guyanese will be joined by the former Windward Islands batsman and selector Lockhart Sebastian, who was removed earlier this year before the new selection guidelines were put in place. Sebastian reapplied and was chosen on the new panel. He was part of the Courtney Brown-led panel that included Eldine Batiste and Travis Dowling. Also making the grade as a senior selector is former Windward Islands batsman Vincentian Miles Bascom and Hayden Wallace, who serve as chairman of the Barbados senior selection panel. The new panel will get to work very soon in choosing the West Indies team to tour India for the twin series against Afghanistan and India, which will get going next month. 18 persons successfully completed a 2-day CWI Foundation course organized by the SVG Cricket Association in collaboration with Cricket West Indies at the National Sports Complex Conference Room last weekend. They are now certified CWI Foundation coaches and are expected to teach and coach the basics to young cricketers at the grassroots level. The CWI Foundation coaching course is the first level of the revamped CWI coaching education. Participants must have 3 prerequisites in child protection, a valid police record, and a first aid certificate in order to successfully complete this level, which will be followed by the level 1, 2, and 3. The course covers the areas in introduction to coaching, how children learn, safety, motivation, fun, inclusion, wicket keeping, fielding, bowling, batting, basic knowledge, and motivation. The coaches were also exposed to practical sessions where they were assessed on how they teach and demonstrate a skill. The coaches who took part in the course are from primary schools, clubs, and the Department of Physical Education and Sports. Ian Allen of the Windward Islands Cricket Board of Control and Irvin Warrican were the facilitators of the course, which ran from October 4th to the 5th. The evening sports will continue in a moment. Stay with us.
My sister's pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services, leave your your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy, Massey Stores Pharmacy, where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
26 retail shops and restaurants open now for your convenience. At the cruise ship terminal, at the cruise ship terminal. It's a great venue to rent for functions, secure parking rate and beyond. At the cruise ship terminal, at the cruise ship terminal.
Convenient parking at the Kingstown Cruise Ship Terminal and the Geese Compound. The Kingstown Cruise Ship Terminal has 26 retail shops and restaurants with a variety of food offerings. A great secure venue for your function with a great ambience. Also, we offer lock storage service. The Cruise Ship Terminal, convenience for you.
At the cruise ship terminal, the cruise ship terminal.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back. In more sporting news now, we heard that Naomi Osaka came from a set down to beat world number 1 Ashley Barty in an enthralling China Open final. The Japanese world number 4 came through 3-6, 6-3, 6-2 to win her second title in a row, having also triumphed in the Pan-Pacific Open in September. She has won 10 straight matches since losing in the last 16 of the U.S. Open. This title ranks as one of the biggest of the 21-year-old two-time Grand Slam champion Osaka's career, because it is only her second premier WTA title, the top level of tournaments on the women's tour after the majors. Australian Barty replaced Osaka as world number 1 earlier this year, and Sunday's final in Beijing, which lasted just under 2 hours, was fitting of a contest between the two of the top players on the planet. Year 2 Sciences and Business Studies and Year 1 Engineering at the 2019 French Veranda SVG Community College Interfaculty Football Champions for their respective divisions. Year 2 Sciences and Business Studies came from behind to defeat Year 1 Arts, Sciences and General Studies 2-1 in the finals for the Division of Arts, Sciences and General Studies. In the finals for the Division of Technical and Vocational Education, Year 1 Engineering had the better of Year 2 Engineering 4-2 on penalties after the teams were locked 1 goal apiece at the end of full time. The attention will now focus on the 2019 French Veranda National Lotteries SVG Community College Invitational Football Competition, which kicks off on Wednesday, October 9th, and will feature 10 teams. The 2019 Clinchers Bible 2020 softball cricket competition will get underway this Sunday at the Bible playing field. The organizers have asked participating teams and those wishing to participate to note that there will be a meeting on Friday afternoon at 5. Teams may contact Dwight Samuel in Bible at telephone number 533-7084. That's 533-7084 for more information. And that's how we end sports this evening. We'll be right back to wrap things up. Stay with us.
Search for Life is back again. Your favorite game. Win house and land. SUV plus 50 grand. 50 and 25 grand. Second and third prize in your hand. Yeah. So play as much as you can. Monthly prices to be won. Set for life. A brand new house. Set for life. A brand new car. Set for life. $10 for a bet. Live your life with no regrets. Set for life. Did your day done set? Set for life. December 28th. Set for life. Check the lotto machine. Get set for 2019. Set for life. Live all of your dreams. Be a winner, turn your keys. Set for life.
A funeral is considered as the last goodbye. The memories are for you, the family and loved ones. Joseph da Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home sympathizes and understands the grieving process. They go the extra mile, offering counseling, private funeral, chapel service, night viewing and church service, along with other services expected at a professional funeral home. Visit the office at Mesopotamia. A warm, modern and customer-friendly environment awaits you. Joseph da Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home, offering affordability in time of need. We are here. We care.
This hurricane tip is brought to you by CIBC First Caribbean. Make sure you have food, water, medicine, important documents, and cash in your survival kit.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
And now let's take a look at the headlines once more. SVG Medical Association makes a further appeal to both women and men here to have their breast examinations done, as it has been revealed that 2 Vincentian men have recently been diagnosed with breast cancer. TNT Finance Minister says revised 2019 fiscal accounts show the country's economy is moving in the direction of fiscal stability. A leaked new drone video sparks new concerns that China is harshly targeting ethnic Muslims. And in sports, Knight's record-breaking century powers Warriors into 2019 CPL finals. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. I'm Rusha Baptiste. Don't forget to visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news and daily headlines. Also tune in for SVG-TV News in 15 at 12:45 p.m. weekdays. Have a good evening.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They call General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
presents The Viewpoint, a live, informative, interactive program that creates an avenue